Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever opened your refrigerator at night, looked at the fresh foods inside, and thought to yourself, am I really doing enough to protect my health as I get older? For many people over 60, that question becomes more serious than we expect, because pancreatic cancer is one of the few diseases that can grow silently for years without clear warning signs. By the time symptoms appear, the disease is often already advanced. But here's something most people are never told. Certain fresh foods may actually help your body fight the very conditions that allow pancreatic cancer to develop. Things like chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and unstable blood sugar. And the most surprising part? Some of these foods are probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Let's begin with the first one. A small, deep-colored fruit that scientists often call one of nature's most powerful protectors of your cells. 1. Blueberries. The small fruit that quietly protects your cells. A moment ago, we talked about a small fruit with a deep color that scientists often describe as one of nature's quiet protectors. That fruit is the blueberry. At first glance, blueberries may not seem special. They are small, soft, and easy to overlook in a bowl of fruit on the kitchen table. But inside each tiny berry is something your body deeply appreciates as you grow older. A natural shield that helps protect your cells from slow damage over time. Let me explain this in a simple way. As we age, the body naturally faces more stress from daily life. The food we eat, the air we breathe, even the normal process of producing energy in our cells can create tiny, unstable particles that slowly irritate and damage healthy tissue. When this irritation happens day after day, year after year, it can create the kind of environment where serious diseases begin to develop quietly. This is where blueberries become surprisingly helpful. The deep blue color of this fruit comes from natural compounds that help calm that internal irritation. Think of them like gentle firefighters moving through your body, helping to put out small sparks before they grow into a larger fire. And one of the organs that benefits the most from this kind of protection is the pancreas. The pancreas works quietly behind the scenes every single day. It helps your body manage blood sugar and digest the food you eat. But when inflammation and irritation build up inside the body, the pancreas often carries part of that burden. Now imagine starting your morning with a simple bowl of fresh blueberries. Nothing fancy, just a handful sprinkled over yogurt or oatmeal. That small habit may help your body reduce some of the internal stress that slowly affects the pancreas over many years. I remember one patient who told me that after retirement, he made a small promise to himself. Every morning, he would eat something fresh that came directly from nature. A small bowl of berries became part of that routine. It's a simple thing, he said, but it makes me feel like I'm giving my body a little help. And that idea matters more than many people realize, because protecting your health rarely comes from one dramatic change. It usually comes from small, consistent habits practiced over time. But blueberries are only the beginning. The next food on this list may surprise you even more, because it is something sitting in almost every kitchen in America right now, and when used fresh, it may help your body defend itself in ways most people never expect. 2. Fresh garlic. The quiet protector already in your kitchen. Just a moment ago, we talked about blueberries, a small fruit that gently helps calm the hidden stress inside the body. But the next food on this list is even more surprising because it is not something rare or expensive. In fact, it is something that has probably been sitting quietly in your kitchen for years. Garlic. Not garlic powder from a bottle, not processed seasoning mixes, but fresh garlic. The kind you peel, crush, and smell immediately spreading through the kitchen. For generations, garlic has been part of everyday cooking. Many people remember their parents or grandparents using it in soups, sauces, or vegetables without ever thinking about why it might be good for the body. They simply knew it made food taste better and somehow made the meal feel more comforting. But there is something deeper happening when you use fresh garlic. When garlic is cut or crushed, it releases natural compounds that help the body defend itself against irritation and slow damage inside the cells. Over time, the body is constantly exposed to small stresses from daily life. Processed foods, sugar spikes, poor sleep, and long-term inflammation can slowly place extra pressure on organs that work quietly in the background. One of those organs is the pancreas. The pancreas plays a delicate role in balancing blood sugar and supporting digestion. When the body experiences constant irritation or stress, that quiet system begins to struggle. And when that stress continues for many years, it can create conditions where serious disease has an easier time developing. This is where simple foods like garlic may help. Think about a typical evening meal. A small pan on the stove, vegetables cooking slowly, and a clove of garlic crushed into the pan with a little olive oil. The smell fills the kitchen. It is a simple moment, something people have done for centuries without thinking much about it. Yet that small clove carries natural protective compounds that help the body calm internal irritation and support its natural repair systems. I once spoke with an older man who told me that after turning 60, he started cooking more at home again. "Nothing fancy," he said. "Just fresh ingredients like my mother used to use." Garlic became part of almost every meal he prepared. It reminds me that food can help the body, not just fill the stomach. That simple idea is powerful because protecting the pancreas is not about complicated diets. It is about choosing foods that quietly support the body day after day. And the next food on our list might be even more surprising because it is something many people see every day at the grocery store. Yet few realize how strongly it may help protect the cells that keep the pancreas working properly. 3. Fresh tomatoes, the everyday food. Many people overlook. A moment ago, we talked about garlic, a simple ingredient that quietly supports the body when it is used fresh and regularly. And now we come to the third food on this list, something even more familiar. In fact, most people walk past it every week at the grocery store without giving it a second thought. Tomatoes. They sit in baskets at the market, bright red and ordinary looking. Many people think of them as just another vegetable to slice into a sandwich or toss into a salad. But what makes tomatoes remarkable is hidden inside that deep red color. As we grow older, one of the greatest challenges for the body is dealing with slow, silent damage that builds up over many years. This damage does not appear suddenly. It forms gradually as the body deals with daily stress, poor diet choices, and natural aging. And one of the organs that feels this pressure more than most people realize is the pancreas. The pancreas works constantly behind the scenes. It helps control blood sugar and supports digestion every time you eat. But when the body experiences long periods of internal stress, the pancreas must work harder to keep things balanced. This is where tomatoes may quietly help. The natural red color of tomatoes comes from protective plant compounds that help calm irritation inside the body and support healthy cells. Think of it like adding a gentle layer of protection around your body's tissues, helping them stay stable instead of becoming overwhelmed by long-term stress. Imagine something simple: a summer afternoon, a fresh tomato sliced and placed on a plate with a little olive oil and a pinch of salt. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive, just real food the way people have eaten for generations. Yet that simple meal may help support the body in ways that processed foods never could. I once spoke with a woman who told me that after she retired, she began growing tomatoes in a small garden behind her home. "I started eating them almost every day," she said, fresh from the garden. She laughed and added, "I didn't do it for health at first, I just liked the taste." But over time, she noticed she felt lighter after meals and more connected to the foods she was eating. And that connection matters. Because the foods that help protect the body are often the simplest ones, the foods that come directly from nature and have been part of traditional cooking for generations. But tomatoes are only part of the story. The next food on this list may be even more important for people who are worried about their pancreas because it helps support something the pancreas depends on every single day: stable blood sugar. 4. Fresh spinach, the gentle green that supports your pancreas. A moment ago, we talked about tomatoes and how a simple red fruit can quietly help protect the body from slow damage that builds over time. But the next food on this list protects the pancreas in a different way, and in some ways, an even more important one. Because the pancreas depends on one thing every single day to stay healthy: balance. Balance in blood sugar. Every time you eat, your pancreas goes to work behind the scenes. It helps control how your body uses sugar from food. When meals cause sudden spikes in blood sugar again and again, the pancreas is forced to work harder than it should. Over many years, that constant pressure can slowly weaken the system that keeps everything in balance. This is where spinach quietly steps in to help. Spinach may look like a simple leafy green, something people often push to the side of their plate. But in reality, it carries nutrients that help the body slow down the way sugar enters the bloodstream. Instead of sharp spikes that force the pancreas to react quickly, foods like fresh spinach help create a gentler, steadier rhythm inside the body. Imagine finishing a meal and your body responding calmly, without stress, without sudden swings. That calm environment gives the pancreas a chance to do its work without being pushed into constant overdrive. And the beauty of spinach is how easily it fits into everyday life. Picture a simple lunch: a bowl of fresh greens, a few slices of tomato, a little olive oil, maybe some grilled chicken on top. Nothing complicated, just real food prepared with care. Yet that small meal supports your body in ways that processed foods simply cannot. I once spoke with a retired teacher who told me that she started adding fresh greens to her meals after her doctor warned her about rising blood sugar levels. At first it felt like a small change, just a handful of spinach added to lunch, but over time, it became part of her routine. "It reminds me," she said with a smile, "that taking care of myself can be simple." And that idea is important. Because protecting the pancreas rarely comes from extreme diets or complicated plans. It usually begins with small choices repeated day after day, choices that help the body stay steady instead of constantly reacting to stress. But there is one more food we still need to talk about, and it might surprise you the most. Because for years, many people avoided it, believing it was too rich or too fatty. Yet when eaten fresh and in the right way, it may actually help calm inflammation throughout the body, including the pancreas. 5. Fresh avocado. The food many people once feared. A moment ago, we spoke about spinach and how gentle green foods can help the body stay balanced, especially when it comes to blood sugar. That steady balance is something the pancreas depends on every single day. But the final food on this list may surprise you even more, because for many years people avoided it completely. Avocados. For a long time, many people believed avocados were unhealthy simply because they contain fat. You may even remember hearing someone say, "Be careful with avocados, they are too rich." And for years that idea caused people to push them aside in favor of foods that seemed lighter. But today we understand something very different. The fat inside a fresh avocado is not the kind that harms the body. In fact, it is the type that helps calm irritation and support healthy balance throughout the body. Instead of placing extra stress on the pancreas, this kind of natural fat can help the body feel satisfied, slow down sudden hunger, and keep blood sugar levels more stable after meals. Think about what often happens when a meal is built mostly around refined foods: bread, sugary snacks, processed meals. These foods are quickly digested and can cause the body to swing between hunger and fullness again and again. Each swing forces the pancreas to react, releasing more of the hormones that manage sugar in the blood. Over many years, that constant cycle can wear down the system. But when meals include fresh foods with natural healthy fats, the body responds differently. Digestion slows down, blood sugar rises more gently, and the pancreas is able to work at a steady pace rather than rushing to keep up. Imagine something simple: a slice of avocado on whole grain toast in the morning, a small avocado added to a salad at lunch. Nothing complicated, just fresh food prepared in a natural way. Yet that small addition can help create a sense of fullness and stability that lasts for hours. I once spoke with a woman in her late 60s who told me she had avoided avocados for most of her life. "I thought they were bad for me," she said, but after learning more about healthy eating, she decided to try adding half an avocado to her lunch each day. "It's funny," she told me, "I stay full longer, and I feel like my meals are calmer somehow." And that word she used, calmer, is a good way to describe what we want inside the body. Less stress, less sudden spikes, and a system that can work the way it was designed to work. When you look back at the 5 foods we talked about today, blueberries, garlic, tomatoes, spinach, and avocado, you begin to see a pattern. These foods are simple, natural, and gentle on the body. And that brings us to something very important I want to share with you before we finish this conversation today. 6. Conclusion. Small choices today, a stronger tomorrow. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want you to pause for a moment and think about something simple. The human body is incredibly strong when we are young. It recovers quickly. It forgives many mistakes. Late nights, poor meals, long periods of stress, our bodies often bounce back without us even noticing. But as the years pass, something quietly begins to change. The body becomes more sensitive. The systems that once repaired damage quickly now need more care, more patience, and more support. The pancreas is one of those quiet systems. It works every day without asking for attention, helping control blood sugar and helping your body digest the food that keeps you alive. Most of the time, we do not even think about it. But here is the deeper truth many people only discover later in life. The body does not suddenly become unhealthy overnight. Instead, health changes slowly through small habits repeated day after day. The foods we choose, the balance we create in our meals, the way we support or stress the organs that keep us alive. Today we talked about 5 simple fresh foods: blueberries, garlic, tomatoes, spinach, and avocado. None of them are rare. None of them require complicated diets or expensive supplements. Yet together, they represent something powerful, a way of eating that supports the body instead of exhausting it. And that idea becomes even more important as we grow older. Many health problems do not appear during the day when we are busy and distracted. They build quietly at night while the body is trying to repair itself. When inflammation, unstable blood sugar, or poor nutrition are present, the body cannot complete that repair as easily as it once did. Over time, those unfinished repairs begin to accumulate. But the encouraging news is this: the body also has an extraordinary ability to recover when we start making better choices. What you eat today may not change everything tomorrow, but over the next 1, 3, or even 5 years, those small decisions can shape a very different future for your health. A future where your body feels more stable, where your energy is more consistent, where the organs that support your life, including your pancreas, are given the care they deserve. So the real message of today's video is not fear, it is awareness. Understanding how the body works, adjusting our habits with intention, and protecting our health before problems have a chance to grow. Because the most powerful form of medicine is often the one that begins quietly, right in your own kitchen. Before you go, I'd like to ask you for one small favor. If this video helped you understand your health a little better today, please take a moment to support the channel. Tap the like button so more people who are worried about their health can find this information. And if you know a parent, a partner, or a friend who might benefit from learning about these simple foods that support the pancreas, share this video with them today. Sometimes the information we pass along can quietly help someone protect their future. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me which of these foods you already eat regularly or which one you plan to add to your meals. Your experience might help someone else who is watching. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Senior Health and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video about protecting your health as you grow older.